Hey everyone, it's Tom here from thisonlineworld.com. I hope you are having a fantastic day today. Now, we all hear time and time again that you should be investing and that investing your money is really the path to wealth and it's what you're supposed to do. However, I think when you have limited income or limited wealth, or you're a teenager or a young adult, it can kind of be difficult to know where to start. In today's video, we're going to look at how you can start investing as a teenager if that's something you're interested in. Quick disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor and I'm not selling a course, I'm not selling advice, I'm not doing anything like that. But I want to share some tips and lines of thinking that I used when I was younger that I'm using now that I think are really important to understand, especially if you're just getting started with investing and you've never really read about this kind of stuff before. I'm also going to share an example of how even starting a bit earlier in life with investing can potentially be a multi-$100,000 difference in your net worth when you reach retirement. So there's some crazy numbers in this video, so make sure you watch until the end. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so just a bit of housekeeping first before we jump into how you actually start investing as a teenager. I think there's a misconception that you need thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to actually start investing, when in reality, you can technically start investing with $100 or $50 or potentially even less. But what I think a lot of videos don't actually focus on, and it's quite important, is the fact that before you do any kind of investing, you need to really define your investment time frame. By investment time frame, I really mean the concept of figuring out, okay, this money that I'm investing or thinking about investing, how long until I actually need this money for something. So let's say you're 14 or 15 and you have a part-time job, or you do odd jobs in your neighborhoods, or maybe you got a bit of birthday money or Christmas money. Whatever reason, you have some money and you're thinking of investing it. The tough part for teenagers is really the fact that in the next few years, your life is going to change quite a bit. And with these changes, you might have some pretty considerable expenses that actually sneak up on you rather quickly. This could be things like buying your first car, it could be saving up for school, it could be saving up to move out. Whatever the case is, if you invest your money but need it within a year or two, it's actually not a very good idea to put that money in the stock market, because while your amount of money may grow, you also stand the risk to actually have back-to-back bad years of growth, and when you actually need your money, it's not there. Or at the very least, you're down like 20-30%, and that kind of sucks. And this kind of risk-reward balance is especially important for when you're investing small amounts of money. If you only have $1,000, sure, it's great if you grow 10% and you go up to $1,100, but if for some reason the market goes down a lot and you're down to $600, that makes a pretty substantial difference on your saving. Anyway, there's an awesome article from NerdWallet, a pretty cool personal finance site, on how you can kind of approach short-term versus long-term investing. And this is really the first topic I wanted to dive into. So as you can see from their article, if you need your money within, let's say, 1 to 3 years, your best bet is really to stick that money somewhere like a high interest savings account. Now, the economy is a bit wonky right now, and a lot of high interest savings accounts are really down to like 1% interest rate or so, but you can usually find ones at about 1.5 or even 2%. Now, inflation is about 2%, so in reality, your money isn't actually growing. But when you compare a high interest savings account to kind of the terrible rates you find with just a standard savings account, this makes way more sense for parking your money, especially if you need it really soon. So it's a great option for teenagers, and that's kind of my first recommendation, at least, to get started with investing, is to at least open some kind of bank account, maybe a student account, and to look for some high interest saving options where you can park money you're gonna need fairly soon. If you decide on investing for the long term, NerdWallet also shows a bunch of different options in this article, like investing in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs. I'm going to get into this a little bit later in the video, and I also think that their 10-year plus range is a little conservative, and you can probably start to dabble with this stuff if you need the money in the next 5 years, let's say. The main takeaway here is figure out your investment time frame, and if you need the money within the next year or two, probably stick it in a high interest savings account. Okay, so time to actually break down how do teens actually invest. Let's say you have some savings and you've already decided, I can save up for my car and my college expenses, or maybe you're just getting a job out of high school and you're not going to college. So money is on the table to be invested. How do you actually do that? Well, again, one quick thing to really note is that your investment options, or the vehicles in which you put that money you're investing, really differ by country. So for example, I'm from Canada, and when I was a teenager and starting to invest, I opened a TFSA, or a tax-free savings account. This type of account doesn't tax earnings from your growth, so you can invest and your money will grow and you're not taxed on that growth, but the money was taxed before you put it in there, so It's kind of like a delayed gratification kind of deal. In the States, a similar idea is a Roth IRA, and this is also decent for teenagers because you're taxed on your income at first, but as a teenager, you're probably not paying a very high tax rate or any tax at all, and the money that grows in your Roth IRA is not taxable. So really my point here is whatever country you're in, just research the investment terminology and what kind of accounts you can open to learn what your options are. You can call your bank or visit your local bank and talk to them about the options, and don't be afraid to read online or to look around and do a bit of reading on your own because again, things differ by country and I can't make a video unfortunately that covers absolutely every single investment type. Outside of that, you need to look into opening what's called a custodial account. Custodial accounts are designed to hold assets for minors until they reach the age of majority. So you can't just log on to an online brokerage and deposit your money and start making trades every day if you're under 18, but you can technically open a custodial account, give your parents money, they'll deposit it as a gift, and then you can start to make trades with that or work together to come up with some kind of investment strategy. Brokerages like TD Ameritrade have this option, and loads of other banks and online brokerages have this option as well. So the key here is if you have money that you can safely invest and you don't need it within the next year or two, I know I keep stressing this, but it is important. Talk to your parents, talk about a custodial account, research the different types of investment accounts in your country, and start working towards a plan to open one of those accounts. Okay, so you've decided on your investment time frame and your parents are on board and you have a custodial account. That is awesome. Honestly, congrats, because that is a pretty huge accomplishment to just get to this point and start investing. So now the question becomes, what do you actually invest in? Maybe you're in Canada and you've opened your TFSA, or you're in the States and you have your Roth IRA. That doesn't mean your money's invested. You don't just plop your money in a TFSA and boom, you have investments. You actually have to decide if you're buying stocks or bonds or mutual funds or ETFs, and there's a bunch of different kinds of commodities you can buy, but you have to pick what you're actually investing in. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to talk about stocks and ETFs, or exchange traded funds. There's again a bunch of commodities, so I'm going to link an article down below with a very useful list of investment terms you should know. And I think this is also important for teenagers to learn because it kind of expands their investing vocabulary and helps make things a little bit easier to digest. So now what surprises me about a lot of videos on investing as a teenager is they all recommend starting out with stocks to build your portfolio. Personally, I think this is bad advice for teenagers and even young adults. Please correct me in the comments or share your thoughts if you disagree, but my line of thinking is that in your early stages, when you're a teenager and you're a young adult, you're going to be focusing a lot of your time on education and career growth. This is the time where you get your first job and you're probably going to want to be very aggressive in growing your career and income. So do you really have time to research stocks, individual companies, to track them over time and to make informed decisions on the stocks you buy? And I'm talking about actually informed decisions here. I'm not talking about buying Tesla because you saw Elon Musk make a tweet and you think that Tesla is a great buy. So frankly, I didn't feel comfortable doing that when I was a teenager, and I don't have the time right now to research individual stocks and companies and to be an informed investor at the level I'd actually like to be. Now, I do own some stocks and companies like TD because these pay dividends and I'm not going to touch them until I retire, but for the most part, my investment strategy as a teenager and young adult has been to solely focus on exchange traded funds. An ETF is basically a basket of securities that you can buy, and ETFs typically track a different market index or sector of the economy. So you can buy ETFs that focus on energy or tech, or even ones that mirror things like the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in the United States. Essentially, when you buy an ETF, you're not buying an individual stock, you're actually buying a larger basket of stock. Now, in my mind, ETF investing makes a lot of sense for teenagers, and there's kind of a few reasons. The first is that you get instant diversification by buying an ETF. For example, if you only have $1,000 and you buy Apple stock or Tesla stock or something like that, if it's overpriced or it goes down over the next few years, you're kind of at a loss and there's nothing you can do about it. In contrast, ETFs are automatically more diversified because you're buying a basket of stocks. And again, if you buy something that mirrors the S&P 500, it's kind of funny because you're actually getting bits of Apple and Amazon and all these other major companies that aren't as risky as just buying the stock itself. Many ETFs are also very low fee, so you're not paying higher fees like you would find with something like a mutual fund, so it's a pretty safe bet that way. And the third reason I really like them is it's kind of this set and forget strategy. If you buy a good ETF that has good companies in it, the odds are statistically over the next 10, 20, 50 years that ETF is going to perform well for you because those companies are going to grow, they can pay dividends, they can keep on growing, and it's just something where you don't have to worry about individual stock fluctuations quite as much. So again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm gonna link an article down below with some awesome ETFs, and kind of a rule of thumb is if you see Vanguard, you should really pay attention because they're kind of the king of ETFs. Tons of options out there, but that's my takeaway. You can disagree again if you want, but as a teenager who is just starting out investing, my ultimate advice is really to look at ETFs first and to kind of learn more about investing before you decide to jump on stock trading. Now, the final topic I really want to touch upon while wrapping up this video is the idea of investing in skill development and building good habits. If we're being realistic, you don't really start making serious money until your first full-time job. And I think for a lot of teenagers, this might actually be somewhat discouraging because if you only have $100 or $1,000 or $500 or whatever, it doesn't seem like that money can actually really change your life if you invest it, so why would you even bother? But really the key here is to learn how investing works and to learn those good habits early on, because this is where even the difference of a couple of years can make a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars when you look at the power of compound interest. If you start investing regularly when you get your first full-time job versus waiting a decade or even more to start investing, this is a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not kidding. Let's say you had $1,000 you invested as a teen and now you're 21 and you start investing $200 every month until you hit the average age of retirement at around 65. If we assume an annual interest rate of about 7%, which again, you'll have great years, you'll have bad years, you'll have kind of meh years, within 45 years, so by the time you reach retirement, your portfolio would grow to nearly $730,000 and you would have gained about $620,000 in interest. Again, this is assuming you don't make changes to that $200 monthly deposit, your income doesn't grow, which over 45 years, I hope your income would grow a bit from when you started your first job. Now, here is the truly crazy thing. Let's say you didn't build these foundational investment habits as a teenager, and it took you an extra 10 years to get everything together. So you're 31 when you start investing. This 10-year delay is nearly a $400,000 mistake, which is absolutely insane because 10 years is really not a lot of time, and you might think, well, 31, who starts investing at 31? I'm a teenager, I'm watching an investment video right now, I'm gonna invest as soon as possible. Honestly, a lot of people don't think like that, and by the time people finish school and they get their first job and they pay off student debt, it's not uncommon for people to be in their 30s or even later in life before they kind of realize, oh, hey, I should put my money to work for me. But again, this 10-year delay or 5-year delay or 15 or 20-year delay has pretty serious implications just because of how time and compound interest works. So that's really the ultimate takeaway here. It's not to worry about your net worth right now as a teenager or the fact that you can only invest $100 or $500 or however much you manage to save. The real takeaway here is to look towards the future and to be optimistic and to realize that by starting these things early, you are way ahead of where you should be in life. And again, congrats on watching this video if you've watched this far and starting to invest as a teenager, because that's honestly something that should be taught in school, and it's something that more teenagers should do if they're financially able to. So aside from that, don't forget to invest in other areas of personal development like your health, your knowledge, your education, your skills. I'm a huge proponent of not placing all the importance in the world on grades and, trying new side hustles and business ideas, because I think that is ultimately how you learn the most during your teenage years and potentially even grow your income. So don't forget those aspects of investing as well. And again, if you cannot invest right now, do not fret and don't stress yourself out over it. Look into opening a high interest savings account and park your money there for the time being. This is the best thing you can do if you need the money soon, and it's a great place to kind of park your emergency fund or cash you're going to need on hand one day, so it's another great habit to build. I hope this video helped clarify some of the different ways you can start investing as a teenager, and I'm also going to link again some awesome articles down below that I really encourage you to read to kind of learn more about the world of investing. That really does it for this one, so leave a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're already investing or if you have a piece of investment wisdom for teenagers. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, it really helps the channel out, and leave a comment letting me know what you think or what kinds of videos you want to see in the future. And as always, don't forget to check out thisonlineworld.com for more unique ways to make and save money. Have an awesome weekend, everyone. I will catch you guys in the next one.